More, I'm joined by our London correspondent, Ollie Barrett. Hi there, Ollie. So we know there's been significant pressure in the United States on Joe Biden and the way he's responded to this. But it seems that British politicians are not escaping it either. Just talk to me about what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely right, Sally. And the controversy began when it emerged that Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab, obviously a key player when it comes to the foreign policy of the British government, was on holiday when it became obvious that the Taliban were advancing very rapidly on Kabul. And then it emerged that he didn't actually return to the United Kingdom from his holiday until Monday morning. Well, that was after Kabul had fallen. Then reports emerged that people had seen him on the beach for quite a long period of time, they claim, on Sunday at the weekend while he was on holiday. So he was already under fire from being away from his desk, or at least not returning to his desk quickly enough. Then it also emerged that officials asked Dominic Raab, while he was on holiday on Friday, to make a call to his Afghan counterpart to try and expedite the evacuation of Afghan interpreters who've been working alongside British forces in Afghanistan. Dominic Raab didn't make that call. It was delegated to a junior minister. The junior minister didn't make that call either. And so the opposition say the Foreign Secretary must resign or be sacked. He has come out defensively today with a statement saying, look, the reason the call wasn't made was because I was focused on security. I was working while I was on my holiday trying to make sure the airport was secure so that evacuations could indeed take place. Government figures also say this is an Afghan administration that was crumbling. A telephone call on Friday was not going to make any difference. But it's deeply controversial given that, as you say, Britain is now engaged in that scramble to get as many Brits but also Afghans who've been working for Britain out of the country as quickly as they can do so.
And that also relates to what happened around the UK Armed Forces Secretary, James Heappey. And this is to do with the Afghan guards who worked at the British Embassy. They too need to get out.
That's right. There are reports that Afghan guards who've been working for the British in Afghanistan at the embassy are not being allowed to move to the United Kingdom because they were actually working for a local contractor and not directly employed by the British. The reports go that those people have not only been told that their jobs no longer exist, but also that they won't be able to move and resettle in the UK. They're very worried, these guards, indeed, because they're exactly the type of people that it's feared the Taliban may well target. Indeed, some reports suggest have already started targeting. So lots of pressure on the government over that one too. The government says it'll look into all of this, but clearly there is going to be a limit in terms of how many people Britain can offer resettlement to. Several thousand Afghans have come here in the last few weeks, and I can give you the latest figures as well. We're now told that the UK has flown 2,400 people out of Kabul since Sunday. Only 599 of them were UK nationals, so hundreds of Afghans have been able to make it to the United Kingdom already. Yesterday, around 1,000 people got out, Brits and Afghans together, back to the UK on flights. The Prime Minister's just told us in the last half hour or so that he thinks it'll be about the same number today. But it really is a race against time because no one's clear at all how long the Taliban is going to let these evacuations continue.
Yeah, this is the worrying thing. We also are hearing that the foreign media are now starting to leave, and really worrying reports hearing that Afghan newsreaders, female newsreaders, are now being told they can't go on air. So already signs that the Taliban is really clamping down. Is there any clarity on how long British flights will continue into Afghanistan, or are they simply going to carry on as long as they can?
I think they'll go on as long as they can to get out as many people as they can. We were told initially they thought around 5,000 or 6,000 people, Brits and Afghans, needed to be rescued. So we are certainly not at that point yet. It would take a few days to get there at the current speed of things. Boris Johnson has just been speaking, and he's been talking about how the British government will judge the Taliban on their actions and not on their words. Of course, there was that infamous press conference a few days ago in Kabul held by the Taliban where they talked about protecting women's rights and protecting other rights and making sure that people were able to go about their business and letting the international media continue to ask questions. That is being regarded with a huge amount of scepticism here in London. As I say, Boris Johnson insisting that the Taliban will be judged not on what they say but on what they do. And there are, as you suggest, already very concerning reports that indeed Taliban 2.0, as some people have been calling them, may not be that different at all from the Taliban we've known for some time.
Thank you so much for that update. That's our London correspondent, Ollie Barrett.